Spartans, earning 25 career starts. Before today, they're pursuing a degree in political science. She's accompanied by her mother, Kristen, and Sean, and her fiancé, Barrett Stewart. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Emily Katie. She scored her first career goal for Tampa against Lynn University in 2017. In her career, she has recorded 25 shots. This season, she has appeared in all 9 games and has started twice. She is pursuing a degree in general studies. Accompanied by her mother, Lisa, her dad, Adam, and her brother, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Sid Greiner. Spartan forward began her career at Hartford University before transferring to Palm Beach Atlantic. She is here at the University of Tampa in her second season. Last year, she appeared in 15 games and tallied 26 shots. She scored her first career goal for Tampa at Embry-Riddle last year. This season, she has started all 9 games. She is pursuing a degree in communications. Accompanied by her mother, Annette, her dad, University. For 23 games and started 8. This season she has played in all 9 games, starting 2. She scored 2 goals against Eckerd this year. She is pursuing a public health degree. Accompanied by her mother Lisa, her dad Emilio, her brother Anthony, and her brother's fiancée Lauren. Ladies and gentlemen, UT senior Ashley Loiza. Spartans started her career at Florida Atlantic University before transferring here for the University of Tampa. But that's the season she played in 34 games and recorded 2 goals and 6 assists. As a sophomore, she led the team in shots with 28. This season, she has started all 9 games and recorded 2 goals along the way. The senior midfielder is studying public health. Tonight, she's accompanied by her mother Melinda, her dad Tim, her brother Kurt, and his girlfriend Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, UT senior Libby Wisman. Started all 50 games in the University of Tampa. Freshman and sophomore, she received SSC Commissioner's Honor Roll recognition. She also received the Division II Achievement Award. She scored a game winner during her sophomore season against Eckerd. The senior has 4 career goals and 46 shots for the Spartans. The defender is pursuing a degree in physical therapy. She's accompanied by her mother, Felicia, her dad, Tim, and her sisters, Holly, Sydney, and Lexi. Ladies and gentlemen, UT senior Lacey Nasella. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause for the seniors who excelled as student athletes. Conference matchup between the Fighting Knights of Lynn University and your University of Tampa Spartans. At the time, let's see the starting lineups for today's match. First of all, for the Lynn Fighting Knights, in goal, a senior from Natick, Massachusetts, number 1, Devin Malcolm. And a junior from Cooper City, Florida. A sophomore forward from Finland, number 10, Anita Seiko. A senior midfielder from Sweden, number 11, Ida Rocker. A senior defender from Watson, North Carolina, number 16, Anna Shelley. A sophomore defender from Fort Myers, number 18, Kate Kyla. A freshman midfielder from Stony Point, New York, number 24, Bianca Price. A freshman defender from Cooper, Alabama, number 25, Sophia Francis. The Knights are coached by Alex Greco, by Jack Abrams. They enter tonight's game with a Sunshine State Conference record of 0-4-2 and overall 3-7-2. Around the starters for your University of Tampa Spartans. In goal, a junior from New Jersey, number 2, Megan Rockwell. At forward, a sophomore from Melbourne, Florida, number 3, Elena Barr. At midfield, a senior from Cooper City, Florida, number 4, Ashley Romero.
There you go.
What's up, man? Doing what?
Florida, number 7, Emily Kane.
I know we lost the table.
You know, it's
Defender, sophomore from Florida, number 8, Quinn Knapp.
you know, we'll get back.
At forward, a sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia, number 10, Monica Morse. From North Carolina, Renee senior from West Athletics, number 19, Lacey Nasilla. A defender, a sophomore from Minnesota, number 23, Gabby Duvitels.
Alright.
And a junior defender
no idea
from
what is
New Jersey, number 26.
Yeah, I'm gonna text Andre. I think we're doing mic check in like a few minutes. Make sure we're good to go.
Also midfielder number 16 from Tampa, senior Ruby Wickman. The head coach is Aaron Swatowski. She's assisted by Britton Spence. The Spartans enter tonight's game with a record of 2-1-1 in the conference and 3-5-1 overall.
Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for your attention to the track for the presentation of the colors for tonight's game. The city colors is welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem, UT Junior, Giuliano Cox.
Bright and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
Stadium senior night for the University of Tampa women's soccer team as they will host the Lynn Fighting Knights. Connor Moore alongside Chris Hockman. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves a dandy. The Fighting Knights enter the match 3-7-2 on the year, 0-4-2 in SSC play. The Spartans enter the contest 3-5-1, 2-1-1 in SFC play. And Chris, this is a team that's playing well of late. They have accumulated 4 shutouts in their last 5 matches behind Megan Bromwell and company, and a team that is finding their groove at the right time of the season.
Yeah, I think so. It's, attack gets you checks, but defense wins you championships. And so, coming good defensively at the right time. I'd like to see them back that up front. You know, there's only been 4 players that have scored more than 1 goal across the whole season, and the most any player has scored is 2, which is shared by 4 individual players. Marika Morse, of course, probably the best performer this year on the attack front, since she's the only one who has goals and assists. But defensively, it's been phenomenal from the Spartans as of late, and that's been good to see. Lynn, on the other hand, the less said about their last 7, the better. They've not won in 7, 0-5-2 for their last 7. That said, we know they're capable. They had a game when they scored 17 goals before conference play. Maybe a bit of a light schedule in pre-conference play to get your confidence up, but they can do it. And the game last year between these two sides, Lynn won 1-0. So definitely capable. I know it. You look at the table and you see Tampa in 4th, Lynn in 10th, and you think this is easy, but last year would say otherwise, and we know they can score goals, so Tampa's still going to have to be at their best tonight.
Officials for tonight's ball game, lead official Jamie Willis. We've had her quite a few games on the season, accompanied by Jason Kopikin and Ian Anderson. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Lynn Fighting Knights, and that is Devin Malcolm, Sage Griffin, Johanna Nilsson, Molly Bryans, Bailey Brassey, Anina Asenko, Ida Langer, Anna Shawley, Kyla Gill, Bianca Christ, and Sophia Hansis. We are underway, and the Spartans counter with Megan Bromwell in net, Elena Barr, Ashley Loaiza, Emily Katie, Quinn Knapp, Moeko Morse, Lee Wiseman, Rennie Tyro, Lacey Nasello, Gabby Desatals, and Taylor Coaster.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out early. There was a big storm that came through about 45 minutes before kickoff. Really bad storm. We couldn't even see the buildings in the backgrounds that you see on the broadcast. So
no kidding. Cyclone in the entire region, with the Gulf of Mexico, of course, having suffered the majority of it earlier this week. As Gabby Desatels looks ahead to Elena Barr. Spartans turn it over.
Yeah, I had a good look at the pitch before the game. A little waterlogged in the center, which I think you'll be able to see on the broadcast. But for the most part, it's actually pretty fine. Spoke with the Lynn goalkeepers earlier, and they said they were pretty happy. It was a little spongy, but not too bad. Which, when you're a goalkeeper, you don't want the standing water in your way. So hopefully it won't affect the game too much. The ball appears to be moving pretty smoothly, which is nice.
Fighting Knights in Spartan territory. Ahead with it is Anna Shawley.
Yeah, I think a play to watch, if we're looking at Lynn, is Annika Sanko. She scored 13 goals this season. A lot of them coming in that 17-0 drubbing. But still, 13 goals in 12 matches is a pretty handy return.
And she is not afraid to swing. 60 shots on the year, 34 on net. That's 22 more than the next closest teammate.
It's pretty impressive. All the more impressive, like only one game-winning goal in those 13. So when she scores, the team gets going.
Bromwell coming out, making the play.
A little risky there defensively. I thought after we talked so much about how good they've been doing defensively, it was interesting to see a little lack of communication. I think is more the issue there than any lack of play.
Elena Barr looking to control, tumbles down to the ground, and the Fighting Knights on the push.
He's done well there, beating the offside trap. Just snuck through. Doesn't have the support though, so she'll have to hold it up. Will Annika Sanko, the player we were talking about a little earlier. She represented Finland at under 18 level, originally from Helsinki.
Quinn Knapp moving it up the right side at midfield. Elects to go back to Tyro.
And you can just see that little shiny part in the middle of the center circle there on the broadcast. It's not a really good paint job of the center dot, even though it's in the right spot. It is the standing water, but that seems to be the only place, which given the amount of rain that's fallen here, we were talking earlier about the cyclone, there was a tornado that went through some parts of the county. Pretty solid return, given how much rain there was. Less than an hour ago.
Our grounds crew on top of things, field in marvelous condition. Let's take a look at the game time weather, 81 degrees and cloudy. 16-mile-an-hour winds from the south, so the players on the field will have to adapt to that. We can feel it up here, and the bleachers very breezy.
Yeah, what's interesting, you might get a glimpse of it sometimes in the broadcasting if you see the corner flags. The goal, Lynn's goal, so the goal Tampa's attacking, the wind is really blowing around, especially in the side closest to us, closest to the broadcast camera. But the other side, not as much wind, so I think there's going to be a lot of swirling wind happening that's going to really change how you play each half.
And you can see just on that throw-in by Coaster, tippy-toeing into it that time, still got off a good throw, and the Spartans have something going.
Now the challenge is with so much water on the pitch, you kind of want to get the ball in the air a lot more than you normally would. But with the wind, you really don't, because it's just going to blow somewhere away from where you intended it, and your target's not going to get on the end of it, but here's a good chance. I say that and it runs out for a goal kick. That was probably my fault.
Johnny on the spot. And we'll have a goal kick for Devin Malcolm. 46 saves entering the contest. Risky pass that time, and now Quinn Knapp in Fighting Night territory, coughs it right back up.
Yeah, been a little bit of that early on, but it's only 5 minutes in, so getting settled. The warm-ups were delayed a little for both teams because the storm was pretty violent for a really short period of time, but it was pretty brutal. We couldn't even see Mosani Hall from the press box, so it was a pretty brutal storm that came through. Luckily,
Elena Barr Alpenberg with the save.
It gets it moving quickly, which is a pretty good idea. Stop Tampa getting settled.
Head coach Polsky before the game. Her keys to victory very simple. Score more goals than win, and that is one of those. Just go out and play. I love it. Don't overcomplicate anything. Just go out there and produce.
Yeah, I mean it's at the heart of it. Soccer's a simple game. I'm sure her tactics are a little deeper, yes. Yeah, ultimately that's it. And if you score 1, you score 30. It doesn't matter. Just get the job done. I think an early goal would definitely settle everybody's nerves, though. So they are looking like they're getting more comfortable on the ball as the game's rolled on.
Definitely good passing that time, but premier defense by Lynn, which also a takeaway.
This is a bit of fluidity from Lynn going forward. The players aren't, it's more a Dutch style. They're not necessarily locked down in the one position. So that's been interesting to see how much everybody moves around. We'll see Sanko up and then back, but offside for Tampa here, despite the excitement for the crowd. But yeah, Alex Greco really given his team the freedom to move around and do what feels best. We've seen Sanko coming back in her own half, and now she's at the top of the formation.
It's been an up and down game thus far through the first 7.5. Free kick coming forward.
Yeah, good work from the assistant to be on that. The right call.
Johanna Nilsson now on the left side, challenged by Taiwo. Moving backwards, and quick hitter, nothing doing on the push. Loaiza unable to connect with Katie. The steal by Larkin.
I think we talked about the defence in the lead up to the game. So much of defence is about positioning and about staying calm. And we saw that there. There was a good opportunity. We saw Taylor just staying the ground, standing up, forcing the cross to go back, forcing the ball to go back, and the cross goes to nobody. Ultimately, all played because the Spartans' defence was disciplined and stayed in their position.
The Spartans have mixed and matched their starting lineups throughout the year, expecting to see quite a few substitutions throughout the course of the game. Quinn Knapp sends one towards the middle. Loaiza in between shot, and that could have been a whistle. Play continues.
Big pull for handball for me. Well, let's let this play run. I'll talk about it.
Spartans with the opportunity knocking on the door. Coaster lunging forward and deflected off the Fighting Night defender Shawley.
Yeah, Moss just couldn't get the ball out from under her feet to get a good shot. She had opportunities. But the appeal early for a handball, laws of the game are it has to be intentional. It went away from her. I don't know how much she knew about it. Would have been a
bang bang play indeed.
Yeah, would have been a little harsh in my opinion to give that. No VAR in college soccer. Well, not entirely true, but no VAR here.
Correct, and that's a question. We've had it a couple broadcasts where we've discussed where VAR would fit, and I think definitely as the game continues to evolve, I see it coming into play sooner rather than later, and like you said, it already sort of has in many different aspects.
It'll be interesting, I think, as technology gets better and more accessible. I've seen it in NCAA Division 1. Not yet in the second division. Maybe shortly, maybe eventually.
Lynn gets the defensive stand, but the Spartans in transition creating havoc. Gabby Desautel pushing forward. Elena Barr with a shot. And Malcolm juggled at that time of the blazing look from Barr. No damage done. As turns it over. Fighting Night player down on the field. Slowly getting up. It's having and the Spartans unable to keep it in play, looking to thread the needle, and it'll be a goal kick for Malcolm.
A good passage here for the Spartans. They're really finding their footing, getting going, but stats still 2-2 on the shot kill. Not on target yet, so but I think the Spartans have probably had the better looks. You know, there was that chance like we were talking about earlier, where just Morse couldn't get it out from under her feet. That probably would have been one if she got it good enough, if she could get a foot under the ball.
Spartans' transition defense has been superb through the first 11 and a half minutes. Anytime the Fighting Knights have gotten the ball, seemingly so, have had trouble keeping possession. Let's see what they can do this time.
There's a chance on the right if she can see it, but just facing the wrong one, which made it tricky.
Sage Griffin, when open real estate, the play does not go in her direction as Bromwell soars to make that play and drills one into Fighting Knight territory. Elena Barr all by herself in the right corner, and she is pushed from behind going against Ida Langer.
Here's a little clip there. I saw it, waved the flag, made the call. There's a good opportunity here. Something of a corner.
Quinn Knapp, one of the better legs on the Spartan team. Entering the box is Katie Morris, Coaster, Loaiza, and late to the party is Nacella as well as Wiseman. Barr hanging back, but let's see what they can do.
Yeah, Barr's the one I'm interested in. She's hanging so far deep. I think we're going to see a run, although it will be flat. You probably want to run diagonally, so we'll see what this is, but Barr's definitely going to make a run in, I feel like.
Chip shot from Nab, a beautiful ball as Nacella came in. Spartans keep it. Out for long is Senko.
Yeah, Barr was really positioned there to get that second ball, and just it kind of sprayed away too close to Senko. And now a good opportunity brewing here for the Knights.
On the break, Taiwo clears it out of play. Game flow favoring the Spartans as Lynn looking to get clicking offensively.
That's a great ball. That was a great ball.
Throw in for Knapp.
Yeah, Lynn probably deserved more from that really good build-up. Took advantage. I think we're going to see them trying to break that offside trap, but there's such good discipline from the Spartans that they were able to recover and get back for it.
Both teams implementing the on-ball pressure, and it's been evident that these offenses have been unable to really gather themselves and continue these possessions for an extensive period of time.
Yeah, been tricky. Been really tricky. I think if we look at Lynn defensively, you know, a player to look at would be Anna Shawley. She's a strong player.
Working the middle, Psycho from downtown.
There it is.
And how about that? I mean, that was from a distance well beyond, and it is the 14th goal. Wow, Anina Senko Spectacular play for the Fighting Knights. It comes at the 30-22 mark in the first half.
With the call from Lynn University, unassisted.
And it seemed like she was just across midfield and she was able to split defenders from the left side, get into the middle, got in her wheelhouse, and then very smoothly and swiftly delivers. Nothing Bromwell could do there. She tried to prop it over the crossbar to no avail.
Yeah, I mean, she had a look up, spotted Bromwell off the line, and very slightly off the line, but just enough to get that chip in. That's confidence, but when you've scored 13 goals in 12 games, that's the kind of confidence you have to take that shot. So another goal on the season for Lynn, and it's 1-0, so now Tampa have to work. And that could have been an opportunity to head it down. Risky move in your own box.
Loaiza to Coaster sails over the net.
Yeah, Coaster may be inspired there.
Bandits turn for Wheel of Sparta. He drives field for the athletic marketing staff going to the stands. It's your chance to win a prize from our friends at Krispy Kreme.
That is the 12th goal allowed on the year from Bromwell. But speaking about this Fighting Knight team and Devin Malcolm, she's been in 8 games, started 7, given up 15 goals, so just under 2 games, or 2 goals I should say, in the game she's appeared in. So the Spartans have had their chances thus far and expect them to continue to push it downfield when they get the opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, she's also had 4 shutouts, so it's been, when she concedes, they often concede more than one. That's it. Nova's been struggling. Lynn's been struggling. So maybe that's the goal that gets it going. Of course, it was Nova last week.
Yeah, speaking of Nova, they're undefeated in SSC play as well as Rollins, and this is a balanced conference, as it is pretty much in every sport. But top to bottom, these 11 teams fighting it out for seeding once postseason play comes around. And the Spartans currently 4th. Fighting Knights 10th, so a lot on the line.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking soccer about 6-pointers because you get 3 points for a win, so 6 points is double. Wins never that important. This one, I mean, for the Fighting Knights, no wins in conference play so far. It's now or never, really. And this would be absolutely massive if they could pull this one off. Remember, Spartans also coming off a draw, undefeated on the season. You want to keep that momentum going, and maybe having a full week break has halted that a little bit. So it's pretty rare in college soccer to get a full week between games. So
that it is, and certainly the start that Alex Greco and company had hoped for on the road, leading 1-0. But something about the Spartans team, their demeanor and their mojo, they do not get phased easily, and still have a lot of soccer to play. 27.5 to go in the first period as Nacello crushed one that was met by the Fighting Knights. Coaster challenging Senko.
Yeah, great challenge, vital too. And then she intercepts that one as well. Just great presence of mind to stay with everything.
On the swivel for defense as Knapp looking for Barr, and it will be a corner kick.
It might be a little unnecessary to give away the corner there. I thought the ball was going to run, but it's easy from up here to see those kind of things. I think that was Sophia Hontas. Had a phenomenal high school career. She was a first-team Super All-State, which I think is a great title.
Wiseman sends one in the box, picked up by Morse, and now Barr loops one over the net.
Yeah, not the right decision there for Barr. I think she had more time or could have sent it to the right, get that ball swung in flat instead of trying to loop it over. Taking a shot, it was a pretty low percentage shot, but you could also say that Senko's shot was a low percentage shot. So
that's for sure, and one of those split-second decisions as the ensuing play. It's Griffin over to Brass, and away with it is Morris to Desitels. Passing lanes there for the Spartans.
It just did well continuing that run. Kept that passing lane open, like you're saying. So these little one-touch passes, those little triangles you can make, they can really open up a team. And now the see where they got sucked too far into their right, so it's opened up all this space on the left for Tampa that they can take advantage of right now.
Quality ball movement. Spartans knocking on the door. With it, Loaiza. Right idea, looking to hook up with Barr.
Yeah, I wonder if Barr thought she was offside, because she seemed to hold off on going.
Slightly indecisive for sure.
It's going to be you'd rather give up the offside because it's an indirect free kick anyway, so maybe not. But that whole play stemmed from this sweet little passing lanes that we talked about. Here on the left, here on the Lynn right, the Spartans left, and then sucked the defence all over to the side, left open all the space on the right. And then we saw them overcompensating, which gave all the space through. For Emily Cady, when the ball was crossed in, it fell to Cady because she had all the space.
Right idea from Knapp. A soaring Cady met by Malcolm.
Cady's hungry, hasn't had a goal yet this season, so she's eager to get on the score sheet.
Ahead now, the Fighting Knights. Nilsson. Give and go with Griffin. Looking for the quick hitter. Sanko finding Lewis there. Nina Sanko has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. And gliding over to her right, setting up her teammate Bras with the throw-in.
When we talk about the now 14 goals she scored, she's also had 4 assists. To go with all those goals, so it's not like she's just doing it on her own and not caring. Her size, her height in the box is definitely noticeable.
Look here in the middle. Deflected. The shot from Shawley will lead to a corner kick and substitution for Lynn. I believe that is Ariella Kaplan, sophomore. Also noticed that Lisa Cabrera getting loose on the Spartans sideline. She started a good amount of the season, and looks like she may be getting ready to enter momentarily. Jalissa Richardson as well off the bench.
Yeah, they're coming over, ready to make those changes next time they're away.
The corner kick will be taken by Kyla Gill.
Just asking to stop the clock. Maybe a little early to worry about time wasting, but
action from Gill. Bromwell makes the stop and DeSello with the clear. Spartans temporarily avoid any damage.
There's been the difference defensively, like just the confidence of the Spartans to just go ahead and clear it. I think Lynn have often wanted to touch.
The newly entered Kaplan wasting no time to make her presence known. Shot deflected by Tyro, and the Spartans stand tall.
Yeah, Kaplan 3 goals, 5 assists on the season so far. She's had 6 shots on goal as well in the season, so she's pretty handy return as well. So it's better than my return.
Knapp sends one middle in. Barr there, goes down.
Just a little too handsy. Lynn, just, nothing much in it. Just, you're not allowed to use your hands at all, and just leaning on the players a little bit forces them over.
Definitely. Automatic whistle blower, 2 hands.
No intent, really. There's no desire to hurt anyone, but it does break up the flow, and it gives the opportunity. It looks like they're just going to go through the middle here. Whether they shoot, it seems unlikely, but...
Well, Mawako Morse has the range. Let's see what they can do.
Here before.
And that one corralled by the Fighting Knights. Sent ahead to Sanko. Challenged by Knapp. Prime time on-ball defense by the Spartans. Get the steal.
Yeah, the defense has been good. I know they're losing 1-0, but you can't really do much defensively to stop the goal. Maybe close her down quicker, but you don't expect the shot.
Substitution for University of Tampa. Entering the game is number 12. Jalissa Richardson.
So Richardson and Caprera replace Barr and Cady.
Lisa Caprera. to replace number 3,
The first game Caprera's in
Elena
that
Barr,
hasn't
and
started.
number 7, Emily Cady.
Quality minutes for Emily Cady, who we mentioned back in action for the Spartans and giving good run for head coach Lutowski and company as the Spartans deep in fighting night territory. Nearly 20 minutes left in the first half of play.
Yeah, did well to earn the throw there, right in the corner. Get that thing, and then just assistant sees a player down.
It's Lacey Nacello.
Hello, yeah.
Alejandro Arenas, lead trainer on the field.
Good work from the assistant referee there to stand on the spot and just signal to the referee. We've got, we can stop the clock here in college soccer, so why not take advantage and let the player get treatment? There's no sense risking it, especially when a player... I did not see what happened, so when a player's down seemingly out of nowhere...
And the one thing about Lacey Nacello, she's a competitor. I mean, she is about as physical as it gets in terms of playing on the field for this team, so it's going to take a lot to force her out of the game, and she's trying to stay out there. We will keep you informed.
And it's senior night, so when you're a senior you want to stay out. Not the last home game, but the last Saturday home game.
Number 19, Lacey Nacello.
Which did a pretty decent season. 5 shots, 2 of them on target. It hasn't had a yellow card this year, so perhaps getting slightly more control in her challenges. But Tim Hankinson, who used to coach the Tampa Bay Mutiny way back in the day, back when the Tampa Bay Mutiny played in MLS, he used to say to me he was always frustrated when his players didn't get yellow cards. When it meant they were getting a beautiful back heel. Didn't end up coming off, but it's a heck of a skill to see. That was a quick nap with the back heel there.
Spartans outshot the Fighting Knights 6-2. Both teams with a shot on the goal of Sanko with 1 for the Fighting Knights. Barr with the lone shot for the Spartans. Action at midfield will result in a UT throw-in. So Sid Greiner was the player off the bench to replace Nacello.
Greiner getting her 10th appearance of the season. Mostly off the bench, but she's definitely had an impact.
That pass is off target. Desautel's with the interception. With it now at midfield, Griffin met by Jalissa Richardson. Spartans have numbers.
A good opportunity on the counter here. Just a little heavy, I think.
Four fouls for Lynn, just 1 for Tampa. Both teams have attempted a corner kick.
Yeah, right decision there from Huntus to send it out for a throw. Don't take the chance that it's going to go out. Risk giving possession in the corner.
Sanko challenged by Greiner and Taiwo. Approaching 18 minutes left in the first half of play. Chris Hockman, Connor Moore, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to have you with us. SSC Senior Night, women's soccer, as Jalissa Richardson on the push, running out of steam and sliding to her left, Devin Malcolm.
Yeah, beautiful through ball. Really opened up the opportunity there. Just ever so slightly heavy, but...
Back up at Pepper Stadium, Friday nights. Threatening, missing a right that time, shot off the foot of Ariella Kaplan.
Build up, just a little straight.
And now a Lynn player on one knee to her feet. Clock stopped at 17:25. That's Sage Griffin. As a Fighting Knight rushes off the bench. Believe we will see Crystal Ian Hagberg, redshirt freshman from Stewart, take over for Sage Griffin.
Your attention please, in substitution for Lynn University, entering the game is number 21, Crystal Ann Hagberg. She replaces number 4, Sage Griffin.
We'll keep you posted on Griffin.
Hagberg enjoys baking in the spare time when she's not playing, so
very cool.
it's a skill I have never mastered in my almost 33 years of life. Much of a baker, unfortunately. Did redshirt last year after playing 2 appearances.
Spartans defense is everywhere, and Libby Wiseman with the steal.
And as well, that swarming defense, it allows you to get the ball back quicker. And
side to side, Spartans moving it. Knapp ahead to Richardson.
Richardson's done really well since she's come on. She's been involved a lot. We've said her name a lot, which is always a good sign.
She's definitely added a spark to this Tampa team when she's been out there.
They worked hard to earn that foul too. Drew 3 defenders. Eventually they get her down, but not through legal means. Just a mistimed challenge. Okay, 9-10. None of these fouls have been anything to worry about.
To lead official Jamie Rose has called a consistent game thus far, and Maleko Morris had a chance from similar distance a few minutes ago. Let's see what she can do. She lost one. Malcolm there was looking to hook up with Coaster.
Yeah, unfortunately just sent too close to the keeper. And it's an easy take in the end.
Spartans have had the chances thus far, and with the playmakers on this roster, anything is possible, but thus far this Fighting Knight defense has stood up to the task and made some fine plays defensively. Now they have a chance. Big swing from Bryans, but Coaster.
Great defense from Coaster. Jump out, put a face on the line. Been hit by a ball on a shot like that. It is an unpleasant experience.
Open space, one-on-one, Caprera and Gill. Caprera with the edge. It will be a Desatel's throw. We are south of 15 minutes left in the first half of play.
Just that final ball's lacking. It just needs to be like a little more control, but beyond that, it's the effort's been there for sure.
Kaplan not on the same page with Bryans. Lumbering down the field. Goal kick for Bromwell.
And be sure to join us next
It's always going to work out. It's a good defensive play from Tampa. It's a fourth goal kick to slam it into your opponent, have it go out. Interesting call from the AR, from the center referee there. The ball didn't leave the box, which under FIFA rules has changed. It doesn't have to leave the box anymore as of 2019. But NCAA doesn't play by FIFA rules, so that's not changed as far as I know in NCAA.
Interesting point. Now, in your opinion, do you think that's a rule they should perhaps adapt, or one that...
I mean, it was always a completely pointless rule.
Right.
Like, why can't the defending team take the goal kick short? Who cares? So yeah, I was happy they changed it. That FIFA changed it essentially across the board, of course. NCAA soccer plays with a slightly different rules, so not super different. So I was pleased when laws of the game. Yeah, the defensive team's taking all the risk in that situation anyway, so if they want to play it, why not let them play it?
Outstanding work by Richardson there, one-on-one with Charlotte. She wins the grudge match, and now corner kick specialist Libby Wiseman.
That's a tough call to make, too, from an assistant.
Coaster coming in hot was looking ahead it as Richardson. Offsides is Morris.
Just no excuse for that offside. Absolutely no excuse. You're looking up the line at the defenders, and you get caught out. Like, such an easy call for an assistant to make, and there's just no excuse for you hanging back. That's just lazy running. But one thing I want to point out, that last play, the corner came in, and you could see the ball swerve from the wind. It is really windy. I think it's just going to get worse and worse. It's supposed to start with a pack. It's the Tampa Bay area now.
Just got word from Alejandro Arenas. Libby, check that Lacey Nasello will be back in the second half of the Spartans. Good to hear.
That's good news. Always good. Never want to see somebody injured. I mean, she seemed okay when she walked off. She seemed, obviously taking a knock, but nothing that seemed like it was gonna. Nothing that seemed like it was going to take her down. So, whenever you walk off on your own power, you're usually pretty confident of coming back in. Well, I'm never a fan of defensive teams on a goal kick letting that ball bounce. Just such a risk. And immediately didn't work out for Lynn. If the pitch hadn't got all that rain right before kickoff, maybe we would have had a problem.
Side-to-side action in Fighting Night territory. Interesting decision there, cleared out of play by Shawley. And another Spartan getting ready to enter. Caprera looks to be replaced.
Yep, Caprera coming off. Of course, works with the New York Yankees, who are playing tonight. I am a Houston Astros fan, so worst of luck to the Yankees.
What is interesting was speaking to Nolan Brannon, the equipment manager here at the University of Tampa, and he was saying if the Houston Astros are victorious, he may very well be going to game 1 or 2 in Houston of the World Series. So, I mean, that's going to be an exciting game tonight. And if there's a game 7 tomorrow, who knows with how baseball is in October.
Yeah, as an Astros fan, I would certainly prefer there to not be a game 7. I've had too many game 7s in my recent life as an Astros fan.
That is for sure.
But yeah, I'm very jealous. I had tickets for the first game here in Tampa. Good opportunity here, though.
Running out of real estate.
Yeah, great work defensively. Devin Malcolm just so quick off her line. But you've also got to credit, I think it was it Bailey Brassi that stayed with her, kept her there, and made that run come. That was great work. I always love it when a defender wears number 9. Because it's completely wrong and you shouldn't do it. So, corner about to come in.
It's the third of the game for the Spartans. Wiseman sends one, middle in. Worth mentioning, Caprera replaced by Brooke Steigerwald for Tampa. Loaiza came in, but stopped there from Malcolm. We're now under 9 minutes left in the first half of play.
Yeah, good work defensively there from Shawley again. Uses her height to her advantage.
Nilsson to Brase. Hagberg met by Wiseman. Marvelous defense.
Yeah, stunning work.
Fancy footwork from Richardson.
Switches on if they see it. Just great footwork.
Jalissa Richardson putting on a show. And we are tied 1-1.
Yeah, nearly thought for a second there that Richardson should have sent it to the right, but she just kept finish on their own. And it matches Senka's goal. And so Richardson gets the goal. That is her third goal of the season.
Talk about putting the team on your back. There was definitely lack of communication on the Fighting Knight side as no defenders took the ball.
Yeah, just this like defender in two minds about whether to drop the cross or go for the ball. The cross never came. That allows you to go ahead and take that opportunity and shoot. Kind of similar to Senka. There wasn't the pressure. Just she was afforded too much space. The defender was standing too far off because she was in two minds, and that's what that footwork from Richardson did, showing why she was all-division first team in high school last year.
And it was an instance there, no one is guarding me, realizing the situation, making the correct read, powering her way right through the middle, and that shot had some zest on it as Malcolm, unable to do anything. She got up, went to her right, but that was placed perfectly.
Yeah, so 16 season finale. We've got a game. This is going to be 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Be interesting to see if either team keeps going for it or if they just cruise into the second half, and then we've got a heck of a second half on offer for the for this match.
Spartans playing with some rhythm. Can they keep it up as the Fighting Knights will look to regroup? Quinn Knapp motoring down the field. Finds an open teammate, Richardson. Jalissa Richardson looking for the second goal, and she was that close.
Yeah, Dakota Payne in that. That's impressive. Richardson's footwork really showing off these last 10 minutes. Just stunning footwork to create the goal, and then again, just cuts inside to create the space for the shot. A little high, she got under it a little bit, but heck of an effort, and the tails are up for the Spartans.
Jalissa Richardson has been the X factor.
Yeah, been pretty impressive work from the freshman. Tampa local too, so plenty of local support. It's always nice when you can play for your hometown team. Not a lot of people get that opportunity, especially at college. So it's always a nice chance to score for your hometown. And pretty vital goal. Could be a vital goal in the context of the season.
And even 6 minutes left. Free kick taken by Shawley. Headed by Wiseman, intercepted by Benedict.
A turnover again though. That's been a bit of a problem for Lynn here all game. It's just been keeping a hold of the ball for long periods of time. More great footwork on the right.
I was probably going to go up to
Tug of war over there between two defenders, and is collected by Knapp. Cross-field pass. Looking ahead, it was Loaiza.
Yeah, just a little heavy. I think the wind may have caught it too, because the wind is blowing in exactly that direction, unfortunately. And
We mentioned at the kickoff the winds were 16 miles an hour. They've now moved up to 18, and they may not be done.
yeah, you can see the standing water on the pitch has decreased, and part of that is because of how windy it is. It's just been spreading that water out a little more.
Here comes Lynn.
I think the hardest part about the wind today is predicting it. Not just the speed, but the direction. It's been swirling around a lot. When that cross was hit, you know, she hit it with the right power for the wind at the time, and then right as she kicked it, the wind picked up and carried it just a little too far.
Your attention, please.
Senko coming out of the game. Fair to say we'll be seeing more of her later in the second half as she is replaced by Jessica Archer, redshirt sophomore.
Not an unusual sub for a team in college soccer. You take your star off 5 minutes before the break, give them a 20-minute half-time instead of a 15, and then you get on with it. I mean, you get those opportunities to rest your players, and you may as well take them.
4 minutes left in the first half of play. Senior night between Lynn and Tampa. SSC showdown on the push. The newly entered Archer unable to find a teammate, and Quinn Knapp looking up the middle. Take away from Fighting Knights. Hagberg. Stolen by Loaiza.
Yeah, Archer making the first appearances here for the Knights. She's become more of a regular for the team. Be interested to see her impact today.
Coaster heads that one upfield.
Yeah, it was a pretty stunning header. It just kept going. Nobody got in the way of it.
Testament to how much of a factor the wind is on the field. Let's see what these teams can muster out over the next 3 minutes to take us into the intermission. It's Taiwo with the crossover. Knapp lobbing one over to Richardson. Megan Bromwell collects.
The pressure coming there from Archer too. She's eager. She has scored a goal this season, and 1 goal, 2 assists. Her sophomore season. Those are her first points in her collegiate career.
Bianca Christ, freshman from Stony Point, on the field, will replace Hagberg. 2-minute drill for the Fighting Knights. Bromwell showing her inner sweeper keeper ability, makes the play.
Becoming a regular this season. Oh, this season's becoming more of a regular as the season has gone on. 30 assists in her last 2 high school seasons. So definitely a dangerous player.
Quality play by Kyla Gill to force a throw-in that will be taken by Charlie. 75 seconds left in the first half.
Last chance.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Melissa Richardson earns the Spartans their 4th corner kick the first half.
I think with the wind swirling around like it is today, I don't know if a corner is as valuable as normal.
Wasting no time, Knapp sends it. Under 40 seconds to play. Coaster at midfield.
There's an intensity to this last minute. They hear that announcement in the stadium and everybody starts thinking, oh, we got one last chance, we can make this happen. You can see Lynn's pressing higher, forcing the ball back.
The final push for the Spartans, they'll have to work quickly.
So it'll have to be a long ball, which in this wind is going to be really tricky. Flags on different ends of the pitch is a different direction.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Significant. This will take us into the intermission. 1-1. How we got there? Well, we started out with an opening goal from Anita Senko. And then off the bench, Jalissa Richardson ties this match 1-1. Stay right with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in approximately 10 minutes for the second half. You're listening live on Tampa Spartans.tv. welcome back to Puppet Stadium. Lynn and Tampa in a 1-1 tie at the moment. Chris Hockman, Connor Moore, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Senior night for the University of Tampa. We played 45 minutes, got at least 45 more. It will be Richardson and Barr to kick things off. Chris, the Spartans able to manufacture 9 shots in that first half. Got the lone goal from Richardson. What were they able to do, particularly in that second half of the first, to dictate tempo?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got to take that momentum they took. I think the challenge of scoring late in the half is like you score late in the half, you lose the momentum that you got from scoring that goal, and so that's a challenge. But they got to find it back. I think Joyce Richardson had a great final 10 minutes of the half, and from here it's just a matter of getting back to that. And I don't think I see Jalissa Richardson. Oh, yep. I say that, and then they throw the ball, and I see it. So, I think that's the right call. Having her start, see if she can put on the momentum. Yeah, right decision there from the referee. Maybe a tad harsh, but the ball fell right back down to her feet after coming off her arm. You've got to call those ones.
Out of play, Spartans get the throw in. UT led by Bromwell, Barr, Louisa, Knapp, Morse, Richardson, Weissman, Taiwo, Nasello, Desitels, and Coaster to start the second half.
Yeah, I think we're in for an interesting one here. It's going to be tight. Oh, risky moves here. So surprising decisions there from Shawley. Just seemingly ignoring her goalkeeper.
Take away from Coaster. UT will have the throw.
If they're able to get the takeaway and win the throwback. So always a good move.
As you hinted on, this is going to be knit and grit second half. I mean, the Fighting Knights eager for their first SSC win. Spartans currently 4th in the Sunshine State Conference, so they're trying to stay put.
Surely maybe showing why she's got so many yellow cards. She just keeps giving some lip to the referee for what seemed a pretty clear-cut corner decision in my eyes. So a good opportunity here for the Spartans on the corner. So the wind dies down just a little bit. It may be the perfect time. Short corner. I'm not a fan of it, but now's the time for it with so much wind in the air. Yeah. Just really easy decision for the assistant. It's just a really, like, that's a set play. And to have a set play where you have a player just standing offside is, I understand that, she's expecting the defence to get back, but you have to go beyond what you learned in training and accept that the defence isn't coming back and you should move back. She moved back, 5 inches she was onside, she scored that goal, so...
Some basic awareness as Devin Malcolm slow to get up, the keeper for the Fighting Knights. Back
it
on
should be pointed out, she saved it anyway. So impressive work from Malcolm. 46 saves on this. She's got to be past 50 saves so far on the season now. Yeah, just clipped late there, so it's an opportunity for Lynn to get the ball forward. Haven't had much of it in the opening minutes of the half. No, it's ridiculously early to be making those.
As much action as we did have in the first half, both these teams slow out of the gate here in the second half. Attention to detail has to factor in. Notice that both of these teams did not go to the locker room. They went to their adjoining corners here on the field and had a moment to regroup as we near 41 minutes left in regulation.
Yeah, challenge in where Pepin Stadium is, getting to the locker room, 15 minutes, you spend probably 5 of them making the walk each way, so it's probably better to just, if you have something to say, let's downfield. You might notice the pink lights in the background. It's October, of course, so Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Next home game will be the Breast Cancer Awareness game, so we're pink. I might have to crack out my pink FC Basel jersey for that one.
Very nice. Atlanta Bar has it. A head to coaster.
Yeah, Richardson prowling as well. Oh, beautiful ball. Sanko just too heavy. I don't think Sanko expected that to get through.
Not at all.
Flat-footed.
In between that time as Bromwell rolls one to Desautel's.
But had Sanko have not been called flat-footed, that could have been goal 15 for the season for him.
Good to see Lacey Nasello back out there.
Yeah, you got us that scoop in the first half. That should make it back out. Always good to see players not being seriously injured.
Loaiza was looking for Richardson as Knapp keeps it in play, working the tightrope. Sends one middle in.
That was perfectly weighted too, just over the head. I think the wind's going to be a little easier for Tampa in this second half because it's been really gusty on the what is now the Tampa side of the field. But
currently at 15 miles an hour, the winds from the southwest.
It's coming down a little. Went as high as 18 in the first half, so there's always hard games to play.
Definitely, and it's one of those situations where as a player you have to have that realization the other team is in the same conditions and environment that I'm in, so we gotta persevere, and it's not going to be easy, of course not, especially this is the case in these SSC games, but finding a way and battling through adversity. Spartans knocking on the door. It's Knapp, weak side, Barr and Richardson were there.
Yeah, really good ball. But just strong defense from Lynn getting the job done.
One more time, Knapp. Crosses. Richardson there. And Devin Malcolm.
I would like to see Richardson really back herself there and just try and flick it in with the back heel. It's cheeky, but I think it was the best situation for her there would have been to get on the ball, flick it back, and just give it a shot, you know? Because turning took too much time. There wasn't enough space, which meant there wasn't enough time to play that. Whereas if you just flick it with your back heel, you can sneak that in.
Kyla Gill, slow to get up, being tended to. She's a gamer, will stay on out there as Malcolm has it. 38-20 left, 1-1, White Knights and Spartans.
Not taking the goal kick there. Earlier she didn't take an offside. Second half.
Free kick from Gill. Ahead, Kaplan. Connecting with Sanko. Challenged by Desautel's. Maneuvering their way downfield, Bianca Christ. Kaplan a look. Bromwell the strong save. Bromwell with the short boot to Wiseman. Barr takes a tumble.
It's almost certainly going to be a yellow since it's not a man.
You were hinting at it with Charlotte. She's a little too aggressive, we'll say, that time.
Just get back from suspension. Last Saturday, so she's only get back suspended. 6 yellow cards in the space of such a short season. 10-12 games for Lynn. That is a yellow card every other game.
So she gets to know the officials.
And she was suspended for one of them. So
well, there you go.
It's an impressive tournament.
Desautel's coming in. Long shot. Well high. Out of play. Goal kick for Malcolm.
I did see a yellow card essentially concentrating team back at home in Australia, the FA Cup semi-final, so always a fan of not getting cards if you can avoid it. Suspensions add up, especially in a short college season. You miss one game, it's could be a big deal. Especially with how good she is defensively, we saw that.
And this will lead to the yellow card, as it is a no-doubter going against Kyla Gill.
Attention please, a yellow card has been assessed to Lynn's number 18, Kyla Gill.
And not too much of a dispute there from Gill. She knew she was
the
going to.
referee just spoke to the captain saying, hey, let's sort this out. So,
let's see what the Spartans can do. It's Knapp right down the middle. Ricochet still in there. Bar. The off-speed look on a one-hop save from Devin Malcolm.
And Devin Malcolm, good eyes to see that coming in through a sea of legs. Opportunity here, though.
Richardson met by two defenders in the takeaway for Gill.
Good work there from Lynn. Just nice work from Shawley to sort of shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder's allowed. Did the right thing. Oh, that was just a big hit from the ball right into the stomach. Those hurt.
Could have been a whistle as Kaplan hunched over.
I think it's just honestly the ball hitting her with some force,
I like the no call. I mean, it definitely could have resulted given the contact, but nothing that Tyro did. Spartans on the push.
Yeah, I think it's I think that no call is one of those examples of just experience at this level refereeing. It's you get hit by a ball that's traveling at that speed, it hurts. And you're under pressure and it does that to you. Getting hit in that part of your body isn't fun. So.
Right idea from Bryans, was looking for Christ, but that pass had too much on it. Knapp to throw.
You can see Ariella Kaplan still she's been rubbing her abdomen after that hit. So definitely unpleasant. Getting hit anywhere when the ball's moving that quick isn't fun, but especially that part of your body.
Knapp maneuvering through defenders. One-on-one with the bar, looking to track it down.
It just went the wrong side from a Tampa perspective. Kayla Gill just went to the right side of Kayla Gill. You really wanted it to drop to the left.
And an instance there from Barr. Patience, because she had two teammates coming from, of course, midfield if she had waited on it. Play continues, 33-30 left, 1-1. And defense is taking it up a notch here in the second half. Nothing coming easy for these offenses.
Yeah, Gill's been down injured, off camera, but she's been hunched over a little bit there. And throwing opportunity coming up for Lynn to build something. I was a little surprised to not see an offside flag, but the assistant's flat on and I'm looking at it from an angle. So from my angle looked off, but I'm sure the assistant had that angle right on the line. So I'm going to trust the assistant over my eyes any day of the week.
Gill trying to fight through the pain.
She's going to have to come off because they brought the trainer on. So whether or not she wants to, she has to come off.
We'll keep you noted on her status.
And by tennis, she's walking off, so always good when a player can walk off. You feel pretty confident that they're going to get back on. But obviously, a little gingerly walking off, a little bit of pain.
And rightfully so. Gill and this Fighting Night defense, they've been busy. They've faced 13 shots, 5 on goal, and Lynn as a team committing 7 fouls. So in one sense, fortunate to be tied on the road 1-1 when you're being outshot by 7 goals and you've committed 5 more fouls. So they've been able to weather the storm But again, a lot more soccer to be played, so
Substitution for Lynn University.
we will see what goes down.
25, Sophia Huntus, replacing number 18, Kyla Gill.
Yeah, Sophia Huntus is someone that impressed me through the first half defensively. She put a lot of effort in.
And she is from Hoover, Alabama. Worth mentioning that our University of Tampa volleyball team currently in Hoover, Alabama. They won their first 2 games.
And she did well there in high school. It's her freshman season, but she was first team Super All-State and All-State. I have no idea what the difference is, but Super All-State. Sounds great. I'm guessing it's multiple state.
Accolades on accolades, right?
You know. But she was the team MVP. She's studying biology. But yeah, I was impressed with her effort in the first half. She really put her body on the line a lot. And was going to no doubt be asked to do it a lot in this half too. Big chance for these passing lanes you were talking about in the first half. Great through ball, good opportunity. Cut back, great decision. There it is, 2-1.
And that is pinpoint passing to a premium. It all started at midfield. Bang, bang. Spartans able to string together 5 straight passes. And at the end of it, Mariko Morris to Elena Barr. You betcha, 2-1 Spartans.
Elena Barr's second goal of the season. She's been taking a lot more shots this year. And then, Mariko Morris, third assist of the season. Impressive effort from Morse. She's only came into the season with 1 assist in her career, and now 3 this year. This may be the one that opens us up, because now Lynn have to go for it. They have no choice. They have to push forward. So I think it's good. I would be very surprised if this stayed 2-1 at the final whistle.
Absolutely, and the Spartans put on a clinic that time. Malika Morse having the vision. She had a lane up the right sideline and then was able to distribute ahead to Barr, who was unguarded.
Yeah, just beautiful one-touch passing. Like it was all, and we saw it started down here on the right with a nice little one-touch pass and then passed up to the wing.
It was a give and go with Knapp to Loaiza. Loaiza able to find Morse, and then from a straightaway distance, Elena Barr with the finishing touches. Not a bad defensive sequence by Malcolm, but she was left out to dry by a lapse in her defense.
Yeah, not much you can do. You gotta cover the near post. The worst thing as a goalkeeper is to get beat near post. So did the right thing. But when your defense doesn't back you up and leaves someone as lethal as that open in the middle of the box.
Barr goes down hard, and who other than Anna Shawley there delivering the blow.
Yeah, Shawley, honestly, pretty fortunate to not get a yellow there. She kicked the ball away.
She's having her way with lead official Willis, whatever their conversations were.
There was notably a stern look from the referee there. Very much a "this is your last time" discussion. So I dare say we're going to see another yellow.
Lassman goes the short way to Knapp.
Oh, they left Knapp wide open. Why not take the chance? The goal came from the right. You may as well go. Oh, and then just...
Hello! Knapp and the coaster.
Pretty bad lapse in communication there. Been talking about baseball. Seen that happen a lot in baseball, and they're usually pretty horrific when that happens in baseball. So
you do not want that to happen in baseball, no.
Thankfully, the two of them were not moving super rapidly and were aware enough to stand still so that the collision wasn't bad. Big opportunity here. Space is opened, but just the run didn't come.
And to your point, from the Lynn perspective, we're under 30 minutes left. If you're head coach Alex Greco, are you going all out right now and taking any chance you can get, or are you going to wait about another 5-10 minutes before you take that chance?
I think you wait a little bit. The last thing you want now is to concede a third and go 2 goals down, because then you just really have to chase it. So I think you can wait a little, but at the same time, this is college soccer. There's no goal difference.
Fans, be sure to join us tomorrow evening in the Volunteer Athletic Center for Midnight Madness.
Especially with this
event signifies the start of practice season for the 2019-20 Tampa women's basketball teams. Doors open
have no
at
wins all
10:30
season.
for
You've got to
festivities
go
in the
at
lobby,
some point.
including
I'm okay with waiting 5 more
giveaways.
minutes, but I'd say
The official Midnight Madness
any
program
later
starts
than
at 11 p.m. with
any later
dance
than
performances,
25,
basketball team
you're in
introductions, a
trouble.
three-point contest, a duck exhibition, and more.
Desautel's in the left corner goes down hard, able to
Be
find.
sure to follow @Spartans
The race
on social
nothing
media for more
doing.
information, and join us tomorrow evening for Midnight Madness.
And yeah, tomorrow night, Midnight Madness,
Yes,
the
indeed.
team launch for the season.
Be sure to join us at the Bob Martinez Athletic Center if you're in the Tampa area or a Tampa student. Be
Just across the road from where we are now. That'll be a fun night.
excited for the basketball season. Both teams, a lot of new pieces for both the men and women. It has been a very exciting and enjoyable fall slate of sport games. The volleyball team currently leading the SSC 7-2 in 9 games. And then, of course, the men and women soccer handling themselves just fine as they're mid-season, getting ready for the postseason.
Yeah, I think, we've talked a lot about how this conference is competitive, but you look at the men's side as well. You've got nationally ranked teams, you've got a really tight contest, and so I think it really is, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that could win both, and the Spartans, have a shot at winning, at least competing and making life hard in both the men's and the women's.
You hit the nail on the head. The Spartans went to Miami Shores and defeated the national champions from last year, the Barry Buccaneers, of course. The men did. So you said it. I mean, there are the teams that are very much capable of going a long way, not only in SSC play.
Yeah, and then of course, didn't win today against Lynn, but 3-2 I believe was the final score there. And
yeah, and Omar Tale, another goal. He's stepped up in his own right. And Jake Richards doing what Jake Richards does, and let's just put together spectacular performance after performance. Boys looking for Richardson.
yes, that's quite a we saw another goal bouncing out over two Lynn players. But yeah, I mean, you go away to the number 4 team in the country. You go away to the defending national champions, and you don't get the result tonight, but you make it a 1-goal game. You get the result in Miami Shores. It's impressive, and it's great to see. I don't think a lot of people fancied the men at the start of the season, and I think now they're showing that they were better than those preseason projections, and which those preseason projections are often based on what you did last year. You don't have anything else to go on, and so
Definitely, and
the changes are hard to tell how they're going to work, and I think it's worked out pretty well for the men's side. And
just speaks volumes to playing a difficult non-conference schedule, because once conference games come around, you're prepared, and that's certainly the case for these teams.
Yeah, and if you want to seriously compete, this is your non-conference schedule is the one chance you get to see
Substitution for
teams,
Lynn University.
not just outside your conference, but outside your
Number
region.
11.
And if you want to,
Peter Walker,
you have
replacing
serious
number 4,
visions
James
of competing in the NCAA tournament, you're probably going to play teams from outside your region, and you've got to take the opportunity to play those teams. Barry don't mess around; they're the national champions, and then part of the reason why they're national champions is they give themselves a very tough schedule. I think we're seeing the difference here. Lynn did not give themselves a tough pre-conference schedule, and they went out and demolished some teams. And look, every now and again you need that confidence boost. You've got to make your own decisions. I was in Texas on the UTSA beat in their first football season, and they played Bacon, who was an NAIA school, and just destroyed them. Sometimes you need that. So,
Getting that balance, that's for sure. Spartans knocking on the door. Wiseman takes a chance, sails left.
yeah, I think it looked a lot closer for the crowd than it actually was. Keeping in the same way. There were definitely some gasps from the audience. Really? I think we're all trying to outdo each other after that. After the first 2 goals were from distance, I think everybody wants to get in on it.
It seems just like that, because the Spartans now 16 shots to the Fighting Knights 6. So already ahead 2-1, under 25 to go. Spartans have no problem continuing to pave a way here offensively.
Yeah, Lynn, like I said, 25 minutes was about the point that I wanted to see Lynn going for it. And maybe they're trying to, but it's just not coming off. That problem we talked about in the first half, where they're just not holding possession for long enough and not in the right areas.
And it's partially because of the Spartans, but on the other hand, Lynn just does not look like they have the same energy that they did in the beginning of the game, and the Spartans doing everything they have to. When you keep it on this side of the field, it's very hard from an opposition to flip the script.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about possession. You know, I talk a lot about how possession's probably not the worthwhile stat in soccer these days. You know, most teams, you know, more often than not, you lose a game where you have the bulk of possession. It's about where you do it. Rugby, with the Rugby World Cup right on right now, although I don't want to talk about that as Australia. The stat that they use that soccer doesn't is territory. I would like to see a territory stat become more complex. Not that we track possession or territory in college soccer, but we do professionally. We do track possession and which third of the field it was in. So that third of the field stuff is the more notable stuff. It could be a yellow coming out here and just a chat. No, I do. She's going for the pocket here. So there'll be a yellow card for Lacey Masello. That is her first yellow card of the season. I talked earlier about how normally she picks them up.
First yellow card has been assessed to
seventh of her career.
Lacey Masello.
That puts the yellow cards of Shawley into perspective, who has 6 just this season. Nasello, her 7th of her entire career.
Can the Fighting Knights take advantage? Right to Nasello from Shawley.
A big opportunity here now on the counter because the Knights have had to throw people forward.
Good luck for Morse to find Isatels.
I liked the flick, just a little too heavy, but the work was impressive. I enjoyed that. Really great tackle there. To put in a tackle like that in your attacking third is pretty impressive.
Now Knapp analyzing her options. Takes a chance. Misfires left.
Yeah, right decision. I think she made the space for herself. She may as well take the shot and go for it. I think Gill for Lynn has been a little tender. Referee's going over to just see how she's doing.
Here, could you please substitutions? For Tampa, entering the game is number 25, Lisa Caprera.
There wasn't a
replacing
sub
number
for
3,
Gill.
Elena Barr. Also entering for
see
Tampa is number 7,
interim head coach Alex Greco going over and talking to the 4, so may have been dropping off a substitution sheet. Not that we do those, but may have been mentioning that the substitution's coming.
Into the game is number 13.
We see Caprera and Katie back on the field as Archer replaces Shawley. So both coaches electing to go back to the bench.
Yeah, Greco, first season, only been in the job since August, so it's hard to, still has that interim title, which, I mean, I guess, but he's been in charge for the whole season, so you may as well remove that title. But I get it, he was a late replacement, so that's probably part of the issue here. Is, part of the issue for Lynn this season has been this just lack of time getting started working on things. Crowd not happy. Oh, stunning! That's just some great work from Sanko to stand off and just suck everybody in. Everybody's drawn to Sanko, and the ball just keeps going. And it's 2-2.
And it's amazing because that entire play started with the no call on the hit from Quentin Knapp, Advantage Fighting Knights ahead with the numbers. And from the left wing, Jessica Archer off the bench.
Next goal of the season for Jessica Archer. Also the second of her career.
The equalizer, 20-33. Left in the game, 2-2. Hang on a second, folks. We got ourselves a ball game.
I know Senko doesn't get an assist for that, but she really deserves one for really standing off, just sucking everybody into her, and nobody goes ball. Absolutely nobody goes to the ball, including the goalkeeper. It just goes all the way through. That's the threat. When you scored 14 goals in the season, people are going to watch you. So now Tampa have to go for it, you feel like. Yeah, no call on that one. I thought it was all ball myself. I just thought it was standing up in strong defense, and you know, she was unlucky that she copped it a bit heavy, but I didn't see anything in it. She stood on the ball, stood up. There's nothing wrong with that.
And as a result, what it is, better transition offense than transition defense as a result for Lynn. Spartans still have time, nearing 19 and a half to go. Here on senior night, 2-2. They went with a short corner kick the last time. They do the same here.
Oh. Impressive work. It's going to be another corner. I don't think they're going to do that again, because you can't pull off that play 2 times in a row. But it was a pretty impressive move. The best corner play I've seen was somebody just tapping the ball just enough and then walking away and having someone just walk out.
Wiseman sends one. Headed by the solo. Missed it right.
Yeah, perfect corner. Good hitter. Maybe if she was running onto it, if I was being nitpicky about it, maybe would have had a little more power, which would have got the goal. But she's had, you know, she's had 5 shots coming into this game, so she's not bad. Of course, strong student as well. Division 2 Academic Achievement Award in 2018. Her dad Tim and her older sister play college soccer. They runs in the family. Senko, gotta watch out for Senko. That's what she can do. She doesn't miss many. So that was an opportunity for goal number 15, which I have not looked this up, so maybe I should, but I believe that would lead Division 2.
Senko wishes she had that one back because there was a lot of net behind Bromwell. Spartans fortunate to come away with the stop. Action at midfield. Archer met by Weissman, and Desautel with the clear.
Yeah, you don't want to be just stuck down this end and just watching it and everything. So Senko with 14 goals, that puts her outright 5th in Division 2 for the season. The leader is Megan Doyle from Bridgeport. She leads with 16 goals on the season, so if she could score, if she can get a hat-trick tonight, she would jump to the top of the scoring charts.
Good company with her right there.
Yeah, it's an impressive group up there. If you can be mentioned mentioned with Megan Doyle, Dana Poach, that boy.
So this game has changed dramatically. The Spartans have outshot the Fighting Knights 18-8. Forget all about that. It's 2-2 right now. Entering crunch time. Spartans pushing it downfield. Morris met by Gill, and that is outstanding on-ball defense by Kyla Gill.
Yeah, if I'm Tampa, I'm going to try and get in Gill's face a little bit. She's on a yellow. Try and push that. We could hear the yelp of pain from all the way back here from that ball. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams use their bench from here. You know, they've got unlimited substitutions in college soccer, so you've got opportunities to use your bench effectively. The question is just who's going to go to their bench first.
Just north of 16 minutes left, 2-2. Tyro to Nacello.
getting a bit tense down there now.
Every possession so critical as the clock continues to dwindle. Bicycle kick from Sanko, and Bromwell, by the skin of her teeth, able to get there before Archer.
Yeah, great work from Bromwell to get off the line. She does well.
Caprera with a series of moves.
There's a lot of step overs tonight. That ball somehow stays in. I thought that was going straight out. So did Tampa, and they end up having to kick it out to relieve the pressure.
Your attention, please. We have substitutions for Lynn. Entering the game as number 16, Anna Shawley.
See Jackie Morris on the field for the Spartans, taking over for Quinn Knapp.
Anna Shawley back on the pitch.
Entering the game for Tampa, number 17,
Red
Jackie
shirt senior
Morris.
season after spending last season
Replacing number
injured.
8, Quinn Knapp.
The newly entered Morris to throw.
I believe Shawley's wearing the captain's armband. I could be wrong. That could just be a patch on the jersey.
Sanko.
He's offside.
That she is.
Yeah, Ariella Kaplan. Offside.
It was the right call. Not by much, but certainly offsides.
Yeah, just great work, really, from the Tampa defense, seeing that, like, the play was fairly telegraphed. We only have 2 players forward. But, Tampa, seeing that place coming, stepping forward just enough to keep the player offside. Just a slight lack of, any offside calls a slight lack of game awareness.
Indeed, and now both coaches, Switalski and Greco, looking to the bench. We see at the scorer's table a few players getting ready to check in.
Yeah, warning sign there for Tampa, and now, like, Lynn definitely seemed to have been emboldened by that goal. He's definitely looking a lot more lively and dangerous. Tampa just need to stick with what's been working. You know, the short passes have been working for them. So I'd like to see them keep doing it instead of panicking. And there's been a little bit of panic in the last few minutes that's opened up things for...
Oh, dangerous play. As both players up, clock will stop at 13-15. Taylor Coaster looks to be okay for the Spartans. As for the Fighting Knights, appears to be Shawley, who is down. Now back on her feet.
That's one of the things you don't want to mess with. Just let everybody, to stop the clock, let everybody get up.
Shawley went high, Coaster went low, and as a result, both took a pretty significant fall to the ground.
Yeah, I think they both just landed awkwardly on the ground. And the foul, because she came in low, it was reckless, so it gives the foul to Lynn. A good opportunity here.
Kyla Gill with the honors. 1 hops.
Yeah, I thought it was a little too flat, but in the end, some good work to keep the ball alive here. Touch is just a little heavy from Lynn, and that's costing them, but some lazy running back from Tampa has left. The ball's gone out. Just left that play onside. That should have been a really easy offside trap from Tampa. They chose not to use it, or just didn't use it. And so it's, in the end, no damage done, but that got a little too close for comfort if you're a Spartans fan.
Lisa Caprera. Also entering the game is number 3, Elena Barr, replacing number 7, Emily Kate.
Barr and Caprera back on pitch.
Yeah, maybe.
At Tulane University into the game is number 19, Brooke Morris, replacing number 10, Anita Senko.
Bringing on 2 attacking players.
Sanko catches a breather.
This is the chance for Tampa. With Sanko off the park, you got to take advantage now. She's probably only going to be off for 5 minutes. So you've got to take advantage now. So came back from position, get the ball. But it's another one of those offsides where the Tampa Spartans can just... All she has to do is look across the line and she sees everybody. It's not... it's not the most frustrating offside I've seen tonight, but it is still an easy one to avoid. Just this too focused on the ball, not enough on what's going on around you. I don't know why. It's just such a risky play.
It is.
Just to go 1-2 with your keeper in a 2-2 game. I don't understand why you would do that on an offside call, but anyway.
See what the Spartans can do defensively.
Oh, big chance here. Just too heavy for me.
And as you pointed out, I am not sure what Lynn was doing that time. They had a lot of open field down to make a play, but they elected to keep it in their own territory.
And ultimately, this all results from them not sending it long, because now Tampa gets the ball. If they got the ball, it would have been further downfield, and it would have been a less threatening play. Through ball comes. Perhaps a bit of a lack of communication there from Gill and Malcolm. It should have been pretty easy. And then in the end, they give the ball
back into the game for Lynn.
It's a sporting thing, but it's not like Lynn intentionally played it out, so, I don't know, I'm always a fan of playing to the whistle.
Shawley replaced by Nilsson as play resumes.
Yeah, Tampa let that ball run, but it runs out for a Lynn throw, not a Tampa throw, so perhaps the wrong decision there defensively. But at the same time, without Sanko, Lynn are much less of a threat up front. So
not as dynamic without that superstar out there. Yeah. And that will be a call against Reza, indeed, from behind. Under 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more fouls. It's going to be a chippy final 10 minutes. Perhaps even more chippy if a goal goes in. It's going to get even more desperate.
Hansas lines it up. From the left wing, the southpaw boots it. Tailing, and Bromwell able to make the stop.
Yeah, almost let it slip out of her hands. Their wet ball, dry gloves can do that. Surprised to not see the goalkeepers using towels in their nets to dry off the ball. Maybe it's been dry in the second half, so it's not as necessary. The pitch is looking a lot drier.
Tampa operating in Lynn territory.
Yeah, some great control there from Elena Barr. But again, it's just too heavy. It's been all night. Just these through balls are not working. What's worked, been getting it to the wing, cutting it back. And so I'd like to see more of that from Tampa. Just the through balls have all been too heavy. And there's got to be a point where you realize all the through balls have been too heavy and you take a little bit off. Some more great control. The control's been really good. The touches have been good. The passing's been good. It's just those through balls. If not for that, we might be looking at 14. It's been two great opportunities for through balls, but it's just been too heavy.
Both teams turning it over time and time again.
Yeah, foul. Pretty easy call there.
Too much hands that time. Let's see if the Spartans take a shot downfield. Looking for them to do so with Rennie Taiwo. Analyzing her options.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long one. Probably not the right option, though, it turns out.
So quick turnover. Wiseman goes down in disbelief there is no call. It goes against Taiwo as a result.
Yeah, I don't know about that call on Taiwo. I thought you got the ball, but when you're going in behind like that, if there's even a slight nudge, it's going to be given.
It is apparent that these defenses will continue to press. They are not going to sag off in the slightest with so much at stake.
Yeah, I've been a fan. My team back at home in Australia, Central Coast Mariners, have been pretty terrible for a few years, and when you're winless, you want that win. And we've had, and then you also don't want to be the team that gives them that win.
Not at all.
So.
Well, Sanko is ready to re-enter.
Yeah, that was the chance. Spartans didn't really take advantage. And you look at the chances Lynn created without Senko on the park. Senko's back. 7 minutes to go. This is that time. This is where you start getting
Substitutions for Lynn entering the game. Number 8, Molly Bryans.
Molly Bryans also back on the field.
Also number 10.
Archer goes off,
Senko replacing number 19.
as well as Morris.
Yeah, Brian's the New Zealander. She's been taking a lot more shots this year than she has previously, so will be interesting to see how she fares in the final 7 minutes. Perhaps a couple of attacking changes. One fan in particular getting a little frustrated with the officiating. I would venture that supporter doesn't know the laws of the game based on what he just yelled out. Fan yelled out she's out of the box. She was actually in the box. As on the line is in. Another player's gone down seemingly out of nowhere. Really great save there from Brummel. Great work at full stretch, and then just pretty poor work offensively from Isabel Nystrom.
The save of the day from Bromwell.
May have saved the whole game too. I think that was Nystrom, although she is a defender, so I don't know what Nystrom would be doing that high up. The Swede.
I believe that is Taylor Coaster down on the field, being tended to by Alejandro Arenas, lead trainer for the Tampa Spartans. 5:51 to go, 2-2. Coaster back on her feet. Good to see.
Yeah, with so little time left, though, I would take Costa off and just leave her off, save her for overtime.
Looks to be Quinn Knapp getting ready to re-enter.
Apologies, it was Molly Bryans, the New Zealander, who ran the ball out of play just a minute ago. Okay, gives you an intent. You do see this attacking change in the formation from Lynn. They're playing 3 up front now. Instead of previously having like 2 with Sanko kind of acting as the center of this diamond, or triangle if you prefer.
Coaster hobbling off the field. It will be the second corner kick of the game coming forward. Doing the honors will be Sophia Hanses.
Yeah, Hanses had a few chances here, but the wind is blowing right into her face, so it's going to be a hard corner to send.
Here comes the southpaw off target.
Yeah, I think you can blame the wind for that one.
A Tampa substitution into the game, number 8, Quinn Knapp.
Swirling around. Corners are hard.
Number 26, Taylor Coaster.
Normally corners would be a good indicator, and they can be a good indicator of how play's going and who's controlling the game, but they're not going to be. You're not going to get upset at your team for having a lot of corners and not scoring tonight. Yeah, referee thought about the call, did make it. Yeah, not much point in playing advantage. And the Lynn player's down. You may as well stop it with that play. Just check on that player. Make sure.
Hey fans, it's t-shirt time. Make some noise for your chance to catch a t-shirt. Courtesy of Mark, front coach. Mark,
under 5 minutes to go, and the crowd on their feet as it's our t-shirt toss, promoted by Mark's first-class coach. Getting into crunch time here.
Good opportunity for a 3-ball down the left. That one was well weighted that time, but cleared away. Well done by Gill.
Richardson crosses.
Everybody loves a free t-shirt, so you know. Flicked it out, it'll be a throw for Lynn. 4.5, we're going to see a lot of subs. In the final 2 minutes, it's Ariella Kaplan coming off. I believe.
Substitution for Lynn into the game is number 13, Jessica Archer, replacing number 2, Ariella Kaplan.
Throw again for Tampa. We've got to get some play in the middle, I think, from either side. Playing it around this sideline is just going to result in throw-ins to break it up. And it goes to Lynn. And another one, in the words of DJ Cullen.
Makes you wonder, do both of these teams lay off and perhaps contempt to go into extra play, or do we see any mistakes, particularly on these defenses?
I mean, the problem with overtime is it's golden goal, and so one lapse means you don't get a second chance. You know, you concede that goal, it's over. So right now, I think you go for it. You've got 3 minutes. If something goes wrong, you've still got time to get it back. Whereas if you go to extra time, you don't get that second chance. If it goes in, it's over. 3 minutes, yeah, there's enough time. You can snag it back. Now, if we get down to that last minute, maybe things slow down a little bit.
The hustle by Barr to keep it in play.
Yeah, maybe a little wasted, but in the end it comes out for Tampa.
Side-to-side action. Fighting Knights possess. Tackle by Nacello.
Yeah, all ball. It was from behind, so I understand the bench from Lynn being a little aggrieved, but it was all ball. Oh, just could not get it out of his feet. Cordelina Bar just jammed it. I think that soft turf coming to play here.
Tyro retreating.
Oh, great work for Taiwo. Earns a goal kick instead of settling. And now a good opportunity. And you can see Brummel keen to get this going.
2-minute drill. What can the Spartans do?
Spartans seem keen. I mean, both teams I think are keen. I don't think either team wants to take this to overtime.
That one tailing to the right. Stays in play. Sanko
on the ball. Doesn't need support. Gets it. But then a little lazy on the run. I'm a little disappointed with Sanko there. Like, that ball was there for...
Seemed to be watching the play, yeah.
That was there for her to win, and now Tampa get the throw, and, you know, if Tampa could score in these 90 seconds, you've got to look at Sanko going, why didn't you come for that ball? In the end, not a great throw.
Definitely see that little bit of nonchalant play from the primary offensive catalyst for Lynn. How about Maweko Morris?
That's what stars do from time to time. You just, you know, I get it. Sanko's been the driving force for everything. I get it if you like. You know what? Could somebody else do it? Just behind her.
60 seconds left. Jackie Morris to throw. Do the Spartans have any magic up their sleeve?
It's going to be hard in the final minute. I feel like Lynn are going to probably sit back a little bit more now. I think that the urgency for both teams, I think, has gone out. With 1 minute to go, you push too far up and you make the mistake. There's now not enough time. Whatever happens at this point, you're looking at whoever scores. You know, next goal wins.
And you highlighted an important fact. Golden goal will be the name of the game if we reach extra time, and that looks to be the case.
Certain now. That ball going out for a goal kick. Although Brummel, to her credit, it's keen to go down. Goalkeeper's well off the line if Brummel's got the boot.
Anything is possible, but bearing a surprise, expecting to play additional time.
9, 8, 7,
Surprised
6,
to not see the
5, 4,
referee
3, 2,
call the
1.
time on that one. The official rule of NCAA is you're supposed to stop the clock in the final 2 minutes. And yes, Witkowski, I don't know if you can see it on the broadcast, but just gesturing to the referee that, you know, where, you know, what's going on. That should have been a I can understand that from the referee's perspective why, you know, there was not enough time. The only thing that could have happened would have been if Brummer somehow booted it all the way down and straight up, which I've seen.
So we'll keep it right here. Kickoff for overtime, approximately 4 minutes away. The first overtime period will consist of 10 minutes, golden goal. Any goal scored will be the conclusion of the game. If we are unable to declare a winner after the first 10 minutes, we'll play an additional 10 minutes. At that point, it will be a draw. But an exciting game has not disappointed in the slightest. Senior night here. And we played 90 minutes, unable to declare a winner. How we got there, Lynn opened up with a goal from Shenka, and then the Spartans scored 2 consecutive goals before Archer delivered the equalizer. Tampa with 18 shots, 6 on goal. Bromwell has 2 saves. They've committed 5 fouls, attempted 6 corner kicks, and they've been offsides 4 times. Lynn has accumulated 9 shots, 4 on goal. 4 saves for Malcolm, 11 team fouls, 2 corners, and they've been offside 1.
She don't even love me, she just putting on a front. She gon' try and settle last quarter and make a run.
Yeah, Lynn should be happy pushing it to extra time, but anything can happen in extra time. It's difficult. One mistake and the whole game is over. That's why at a FIFA level, golden goal was abolished. But we'll still do it here, so yeah, if you're not familiar, if you watched the Women's World Cup this year and you saw the game go to extra time and then a goal scored and they kept playing, at that level they keep playing. Used to be silver goal, which is fascinating. The game would end if the team had a lead at halftime and extra time. They call it silver goal. Here it's golden goal, so first goal wins.
And now if you can make a universal setup, would you go with golden goal? Would you go silver goal if you could have it one set way for all levels?
I like the way it's done at the full level now, where we just play the whole thing out. I think I understand it in a World Cup why silver goal was brought in. It's just a challenging thing to go back to back and have to play that often and play potentially 120 minutes, 120 minutes. At least you can take 15 off of that. Play slightly less. But right now it's just I think golden goal for me is the worst way to do it.
Yes. It changes the complexion of the game. I mean, it does, and the way you approach it.
Yeah, I mean, it was proven to set up defensive extra times, and golden goal led to more penalty shootouts, which most people don't like, and you're better off just ending it and going, just playing the full thing, because when you play it with the golden goal, if one team is notably weaker than the other, the weaker team's just going to park the bus and put all 11 behind the ball and absorb it, and in the case of college soccer, get the draw. But if you win, I don't think you can do that. I think the draw's going to help Tampa out a lot more than it's going to help Lynn. So if you win at this point in the season, you don't have enough games to make it up. Tampa's third, and they've won 3 more games than you. Or 2 more games. Like you need to get going, and you need to start somehow. And they all count. You don't get half a point you don't get half a win for winning in overtime. So you've got to take advantage.
And it sets up ultimately in the SSC the potential for this upset. And at the same sense, a draw would be just as good. Obviously, they want the victory on the road, but for all intents and purposes, if Lynn was able to skate out of here with a draw, that would definitely help the remainder of the conference in terms of looking up.
Yeah, I think if you're everybody who's not Tampa, you'd be pretty stoked if this was a draw.
Indeed. And for the Spartans, an opportunity. You have not played your best soccer to come away and put everything aside with a win. We're ready for kickoff. Here we go. Elena Barr and Jalissa Richardson get us going.
Yeah, Richardson coming up a little sore there. It's already an issue for Coach Switolski to think about.
And give a lot of credit to Ariella Kaplan. I mean, it seems like the last 40 minutes she's been hampered by an injury, and she's staying out there giving it her all.
Yeah, she's been really, really determined to stick with it and keep going. And I'm always impressed when a player just keeps it going. I mean, she played University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
UMBC, the only program as a 16 seed to defeat a 1 seed in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. A lot of rich history.
Yeah, pretty brilliant March Madness memory. Seeing that happen, I remember being on Twitter and seeing the whole thing unfold and Twitter exploding.
We played a minute in extra time. Lynn has possessed it. Taylor Coaster back on the field after exiting earlier on in the second half. What a pass from Loaiza, threading the needle to find Barr on the left wing. Here we go.
Good footwork from Barr here. Sucked in 2 defenders. Good opportunity. Lynn is really stacking everybody back. There's no midfield right now.
DeSatels battling. Keeps it in play. Goes the short route to Barr.
I thought Barr was a little heavy on the touch, which didn't allow the turn, and then another heavy touch lets Lynn get through. There really is a very small gap between defense and midfield for Lynn right now. I think it's pretty clear what Lynn's tactic is going to be for these 20 minutes, if it lasts that long. I haven't had dinner, so I would appreciate a winner from one of these teams.
Stomach is talking to us.
Yeah,
thanks again for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Hockman, Connor Moore. This one has been a dandy. We expected it. And
I think it goes to highlight how close this conference is. You know, Sunshine State Conference is a phenomenally tight conference. Anybody can beat anybody on the day. Both players are down. Referee, I don't think blew the whistle, but maybe she did, judging by the quick reaction from anybody.
You hit the nail on the head. This is a balanced conference, and it's a testament to just sports in general. I mean, you can have all the numbers favoring one team entering a game,
Your attention, please.
and it all goes out the window once that game starts, because at the end of it, you have 2 teams competing for one end goal, and if the game was decided on paper, we wouldn't play the game, right? We would just mail out the trophies to the better teams. So this is the beauty of sports, and the Lynn Fighting Knights on the road, winless in SSC play, giving the Tampa Spartans everything they can handle.
Yeah, and Kaplan there just going off. You know, we talked about how impressed we were that she'd been keeping on going with the knock she took. If it looks like she's finally succumbed to it, but gee, she put in a strong shift to
with all the wear and tear, indeed. How about that read from Taylor Coaster with the break on the ball, and the Spartans in business.
Yeah, that whole read from Coaster kind of highlights one of the problems that Lynn has, which is such an obvious linchpin to their attack. It's obvious who they're going to pass to going forward, especially right now. The shape they're playing is just about a 7-0-3, and it makes it really obvious to tell that when they're going to pass to Sanko, who's going to pass to Sanko, and so it's easy to just break it up. I'd like to see Lynn be a little less predictable, but for them, I guess they can say, well, it's working with 2-2. But of course, that wasn't how they played the offside. Pretty easy call that. But I guess, yeah, Lynn can say, well, it's working, but this is a completely different way from how they were playing in regulation. So, another disappointing offside. Just standing in the same spot. You stand there. You watch the defense move forward, and you get caught offside because you just didn't move. It's just, there is absolutely no excuse for those kinds of offsides for me. Just an easy decision to stay onside instead of being offside, and doesn't take it, and then gets upset when the flag goes up. I have no time for that.
Just behind the cello, Richardson, right idea, and the Fighting Knights always dangerous when Sanko has it. Through ball, Taiwo gets there before the Fighting Knight. Lunging forward was Archer. Bromwell.
And good work from Bromwell too, calling out that she was coming. Yeah, it makes it easy for your defender to trust you. Trust is a big part of the relationship between defenders and goalkeepers. It can lead to mistakes and confusion, and Tampa has that. They have the trust between the back line and the attack in spades, and so you get this result where she knew Bromwell was coming. Bromwell took it, and now they've got a position upfield where they can start going for it.
Spartans in Fighting Night territory. 4 minutes 44 seconds left in the first overtime period. Sanko, cross field.
Yeah, I would have liked them to not play to Sanko there. They had run and left. Sanko could have continued to run. It would have really opened up Tampa, but because they played it, now a chance if she can run onto it. She's going to play back to the keeper.
With the wheels of Richardson, put a lot of faith in Kylie Gill to make a play in that one-on-one.
Yeah, I don't know if I was Malcolm, I would have taken that touch. I would have just tried to hoof it out of there. In the end, it worked out, but geez, it was a risk taking that touch in your box. If you're going to do it, you've got to at least move it further away. That comes with experience, you know. I would have liked to have seen that headed back. I think he headed back to Taiwo. She can start building something. But, you know, these decisions are hard. And in overtime, it's really hard to make those little decisions that could hinge the whole game. You know, you're under a lot of stress in overtime, and you have to make these split-second decisions.
Currently, the Tampa offense against the Lynn defense.
Yeah, it's just been... It's going to be hard for Lynn to transition with the way they're playing. There's just such a big gap between their midfield and between their defense and their offense, and so there just is no midfield. So, but an opportunity here. They're going to have to use their pace. Senko looming far post, but a heavy touch allows Tampa to deal with that.
Brasse with it will have a throw.
Yeah, Brasse, good speed.
Looks ahead to Nilsson. Nilsson!
Footwork from Nilsson.
Ends the game. Joanna Nilsson floats one over Bromwell. And the Lynn Fighting Knights collect their first Sunshine State Conference victory in the fashion of 3-2.
Yeah, great goal. Just good chip. But you gotta look at Tampa and wonder why she was given so much space. It's just too much of a focus.
Lynn wins in overtime by a score of 3-2.
First win over the conference season, so that's going to really put the cat amongst the pigeons in the conference standings, and it's going to just tighten an already tight conference up.
Absolutely. With the victory, the Lynn Fighting Knights improved to 4-7-2 on the year and 1-4-2 in SSC play. The Spartans fall to 3-6-1, 2-2-1 in SSC play. And I mean, it was a heck of a game. The Spartans had quality hits in that extra period, but the Lynn Fighting Knights taking full advantage of the opportunities they were given. They only had 5 shots on goal, able to find the back of the net 3 separate times, taking full maximization of their volume.
Yeah, if you're able to score 3 goals on 5 shots, you're doing something right. Well played to Lynn. Deserved winners, honestly. They took their chances. They scored the goals. If you're Tampa, you just got to look at yourself and go, okay, we've got to take those chances. Weather was hard, but it was hard for both teams. So you can't really blame that. You just got to think about what happens and figure out what to do next time. But Lynn got to be ecstatic if you're a Lynn fan. Get that 3-2 win, 2 stunning goals. So it's got to be sad. But yeah, disappointing. That ball came off the foot, and you thought when it was hit that Bromwell might not get to it. It's just a little too high, and it wraps it up 3-2. Congratulations to Lynn, first conference win of the season, and now when we say in the Sunshine State Conference, anybody can win. Anybody can beat anybody on their day.
On any given night, anybody can beat anybody. That's the case. Kudos to the Lynn Fighting Knights and Alex Greco and company. Big road victory for Lynn, spoiling the Spartans senior night. For Chris Hockman, Connor Moore, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great evening.